Was that mud?
Yeah. Okay. A little more persistence, a little more effort, and what seemed hopeless failure may turn into glorious success. Oh, sorry. Wait.
I read dolphin.
Okay. It was the first day of our week-long kayaking adventure in South America on some of the most renowned rivers in the country. Through the freezing glacier waters, we were all excited for the week to come. That day, I flipped and swam on every single rapid of the Nuble River except for one. Every time, I came up shivering and hating kayaking a little bit more. After my fifth swim of the day, without a wetsuit, Ellie explained to me that she had days like mine too. When she was learning, she would sometimes feel just as miserable as I did that day. At first, I was confused because I didn't understand how she could possibly be the role she was at somewhat of a kayaking school if she had had any past experience like the one I had just had. But when I thought about it a little more, all of the teachers, all of the students, every kayaker in the world had taken some unpleasant swims. It wasn't that kept them from persisting and working at it. I realize I will always be presented with challenges, and it's not always easy, but it's possible to get through it and keep working towards your goal. We, students at the Alzar School, built persistence skills from our independence and our responsibility to do well, which is based solely on our own hard work. This semester, I've learned how to persist in academics, fears, physical capabilities, by pushing through challenging obstacles and working hard towards my goals, as I have learned to think about the outcome. During one demanding and physically exhausting 2 days of being leader of the day in the Oahe Canyonlands, I felt like the days would never end. They seemed long, freezing, and burning, and not to mention the lack of communication between my co-leader and I. All was starting to make me go a little crazy. I had never seen a topographic map in my life, nor had I ever been backpacking, nor had I ever been leader of the day. Combined, I was stressed, but contently taking it all in. The group was tired, and so was I. At the moment, all I could think of was my exhausted body. When we were in the midst of summiting a seemingly gigantic ridge and people's attitudes plummeting, I almost wanted to give up. Weighing the outcomes of if I kept going or not, it became clear that overlooking miles of land I had just carried a 40-pound backpack across is much more rewarding than stopping and crying to relieve my legs. Looking back, there was nothing more satisfying than panting my way up a canyon to stand with dignity at the top and scream the strong one-word reliever of a yawp. Sitting at the top of a red canyon, in complete silence, overlooking the miles and miles of desert that we, the strongest students at Atlanta, Baltimore, Bar Harbor, Brazil, and Memphis have ever seen, had just conquered. The feeling was liberating and filled me with astonishment of what I was physically capable of, but more importantly, what I was mentally capable of. I took this endurance, grit, and perseverance and applied it to as many aspects of my Alzar life that I could. Another experience I had showed me the element of persisting and put my technical proficiency skills to the test in a WAPA simulation. I needed to pull a 210-pound Zane with questionable mild hypothermia out of a river in 24-degree weather. I pulled with all of my might, but he continuously kept sliding right back down to the bank of the water. When the time came to try and actually get his body to stop violently shaking, he didn't fit in the sleeping bag. Not only was this a test for me to get certified, but I was scared I was going to seriously injure Zane. Yes, I could yell for Rachel Mackey, which would probably benefit Zane in the end and me stepping back, but the other outcome would look like me feeling very accomplished and proud of myself for learning medical procedures and helping Zane by myself in a more realistic situation. My gut made that decision feel obvious. Ronnie and I worked extremely hard to do the best we could to get him warm, fast. It was clear to me that the habit of persisting and doing everything in my full capability was a skill that I would always need to possess. Utilizing these accomplishments, when I go back to my home environment, will be difficult with the lack of continuous reminders of effective leadership skills and, quite frankly, ways to live a more proactive life. On a micro level, in school, when I'm up to my neck in work, I will not save it for later or complete it to the half of my ability. I will continue to go up to my teachers with questions and complete assignments on time. On a larger scale application, when I'm going through hard situations at home, whether it be relating to my family, friends, academics, or myself, I'll think about the outcomes. After spending lots of time with my teachers, working on physics problems, correcting pre-cal tests during study hall, and working long hours of A-push in the year, I've demonstrated self-motivation techniques that keep me working towards my academic goal at all times, and not stopping until I get there. Whatever the circumstance, success is started with pushing through whatever curveball is thrown at you, and through my experiences, there will be one. I've learned this semester there are some things that give you that gut feeling inside that you know will benefit you in the long run. At this point, I will exert myself in pushing through struggles that before I might have just walked past and given up on. Whether this be demonstrated by training towards a 10-kilometer race, 6 consecutive attempts at staying inside of a kayak and never giving up, doing more hours of homework than my emotions can withstand, or working at relationships that need repairing, persistence is a path to guide you to success. These actions can lead to what seemed hopeless failure into glorious success. After trying to row my kayak 4 consecutive times, I got it on my 5th.